Hello and welcome. I'm Dr. Doug Kelley, and in this episode I want to talk about a powerful model that will help you to realize your full potential. That model is called the Life Leadership Paragon. Now, Paragon simply means a model of excellence. So the Life Leadership Paragon is just that, a life model, something to follow to help you to be better than tomorrow than you were yesterday. The Life Leadership Paragon is a model that I developed many years ago, and it consists of 3 traits or attributes that combine to create a fourth one. The first one of these traits, first of the 3, is self-acceptance. Then there's self-responsibility, then respect for free will, and these 3 synergistically combine to create the fourth one, which is self-completeness, also known as self-actualization. In this episode, I want to talk about self-acceptance, and this episode is one of about 4 in a series that will just go through and describe all of these different attributes of this Life Leadership Paragon, so look for the others after this one. But in this one, I want to talk about self-acceptance. Self-acceptance is just that, accepting yourself just as you are right here, right now, warts and all. It means to have a healthy self-concept. If we don't have a healthy self-concept, we'll never be good at anything, and we'll never realize our full potential in life. So we have to have a healthy self-concept. That means self-acceptance. Self-acceptance simply means that you understand that you're entitled to the same good things in life, the same as anyone else, no more, no less. It means that you don't take yourself too seriously, and that's a good nugget that we can all benefit from. A lot of times we take ourselves way too seriously, and it just causes us issues. Self-acceptance also means to accept that you're a human being. You know, I used to ask people when I would do my seminars, I used to ask the audience, are you perfect? And of course, everybody would say no. Of course, nobody would raise their hand. Nobody's perfect, right? And I would ask them, well, why aren't you perfect? And I'd get nothing. I thought it was interesting, everybody will tell me, no, I'm not perfect, but nobody can tell me why. Well, after pressing them a little bit, somebody will say, because I make mistakes. And of course, we all make mistakes. But it's an interesting thing about mistakes, isn't it? We're born, we begin to grow up, we begin to learn very quickly that making a mistake is what? A good or a bad thing? It's a bad thing. I mean, yeah, mistakes are good in themselves, but we learn that they're a bad thing. We place a bad, negative connotation to making mistakes, don't we? No, none of us want to wake up, go to work or wherever and really botch things up, do we? No, we don't. So we learn that making a mistake is a bad thing. The other side of that coin is, how do we actually learn in life? Well, making mistakes, right? Mistakes are just that. They teach us life lessons. They teach us through experience. You cannot separate mistakes from the human being. Otherwise, you wouldn't have a human being. So what should we do when we make a mistake? Easy. We learn the lesson, make amends if necessary, and then move forward guilt-free. Remember, there's no value in guilt. It's a pointless, worthless emotion. Learn the lesson, make amends if necessary, then move forward guilt-free. All right, another interesting thing in life, isn't it? We are born, we begin to grow up, and we are conditioned, programmed, yes, sometimes even brainwashed to strive for what? Perfection, right? But on the other side of that coin, we know there's something we can never attain in life. What is it? Perfection. Does that not strike you as a bit odd, a bit stupid, a bit illogical? Of course it is. We're striving for something which is unattainable for us. How much sense does that make? Makes no sense whatsoever. So what that tells us then is that concept of perfection is a fantasy. It's nothing more or less than an ancient belief system designed to control and manipulate through guilt and shame. Why? Because you're never quite good enough, are you? I mean, that's what religion teaches us. How many of you are sinners, right? We're all sinners. We need to be saved, that sort of thing. It's all sending that message that we're not quite good enough. Well, you know what? We need to let go of some of these negative concepts, these delusions and illusions. Perfection is a fantasy. Let me tell you about perfect people. Perfect people understand that they are entitled to all the good things in life the same as anyone else, no more, no less. Perfect people strive to be better tomorrow than they were yesterday. Perfect people understand that they are perfect at being themselves. So I ask the question again, are you perfect? Well, at this point, I hope you're saying, yeah, I am perfect. You are perfect just the way you are. Does that mean you don't have things you want to work on? No, of course not. We all have things we want to work on. But we are perfect just as we are right here, right now. The lessons that we learned, the choices that we made in the past brought us right here to this point in our life. We are a representation of all the choices and decisions we've made in the past. Well, the idea behind being perfect is striving to be better tomorrow than yesterday. It doesn't mean we're narcissists. It doesn't mean we're egotistical. It means having a good, healthy self-concept. That's self-acceptance. It's absolutely critical if you want to be successful in anything in life. There's one other thing that I want to share with you on this particular episode. The one thing that this world could really use, and I'm sure you'll agree, is a good, healthy boost in their self-esteem. If you think about it, if we could just wave our magic wand and just boost everybody's self-esteem, you know what? We'd lose a lot of problems in this world. People would feel better about themselves. They would treat not only themselves but others better too. And that's just the truth. A lot of people have what is known as low self-esteem. Well, I'm not sure that there is such a thing as low self-esteem. Let's talk about self-esteem. Self-esteem is simply having a good, healthy self-concept. It means really internal expectations and internal validation. So if I have a good, healthy self-esteem, I have my own internal expectations and I validate those, and therefore I feel good about myself. People with low self-esteem don't think of it that way. In fact, I prefer to call low self-esteem something like them-esteem. Think about that. If I have them-esteem, that's external expectations and external validation. That means that I only feel good about myself when I'm doing what somebody else thinks I should be doing. Could be parents, religious leaders, boss, spouse, partner, anyone else outside of us. So people with them-esteem only feel good about themselves when they're doing what other people think they should be doing. We need to have self-esteem, not them-esteem. We need to have internal expectations and validation and walk our own path. So this first part of the Life Leadership Paragon is self-acceptance. And the objective with this Life Leadership Paragon is to bring all of these different aspects of it into balance, into a healthy balance. So the first place to start is with self-acceptance. And we understand that we are good enough just the way we are, and we strive to be better tomorrow than we were yesterday. There's a lot more to this too, and if you're interested in this topic, I'd like to encourage you to visit our schools, metaphysicsinstitute.org, where we offer doctoral degrees, bachelor's, master's, doctoral degrees in metaphysics in a variety of areas such as spiritual counseling, holistic life coaching, holistic healing, hypnosis, paranormal research, cryptozoology, and a number of other areas. That curriculum teaches valuable life skills just like this one, and it goes way in depth into this concept of self-acceptance, among other things. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you on the next video.